I have to like keep looking at my computer because I don't trust it. Okay.
Can't trust technology.
No, well, not this technology. If any point I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. It's because my computer has decided to like use the bathroom itself. Welcome back to Privy. Privy is a podcast about bathrooms recorded this week from my church's bathroom. We're in it. Just a quick potty check-in, and I'm not going to do too much because I want to get going with what we have for this week. But I stepped in dog poop this week, and then I promptly stepped in 3/4 inch river rock, so the bottom of my foot was like a strange like Rice Krispie treat, but poop and river rock. So that was fun. Super annoying. Could have been avoided, but the dog poop was just right where it needed to be. So that's fun. But we're going to get right into it because I'm joined this week by in the bathroom, as always. Not quite as deep into it as I was with Jason. Jason really had me cornered. But I'm joined with Jude Dominy. Jude, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Perfect. Yeah, so I caught Jude before his work day. He was gracious enough to swing over here and sit in a bathroom with me before he goes to work. So, yeah, he gets to, hopefully nobody asked him what he did this morning.
They usually don't.
Perfect. They're like, we don't care. Just do your job and go home.
Although if I'm late, I will tell them why it was late.
I don't, yeah. No, we're not going to be late.
That's okay. I can clock in from here.
I'm gonna edit that out, maybe. Because he winked at me when he said that. Whoever Jude's boss is, if you hear this, he winked. He definitely did. Yeah. So talking about work, what do you do? What is the current jobscape look like?
Really, all I do is help people when needed with building pallets of whatever, and then put bands on pallets. It's really the gist of what I do. It's okay. Pretty boring.
Hey, are you guys like building pallets for like shipping or?
Yeah, like to send stuff out
for like white moms to hang stuff on their wall with, because I know that's a thing now, and I don't know why.
We do have a lot of white mom pallets, but usually they get used.
Perfect.
We get a weekly mom pallet delivery. It's pretty great.
They're like, we need 6 of these, and it needs to be able to hold my coffee mugs. Well, very cool. And you also watched me do the like disgraceful setup.
Yes.
As a person who regularly runs sound, what are you thinking of the rat's nest that's sitting in front of you here?
I've seen worse.
Okay, perfect. That's
you only really have like 3 wires running around. The only problem is you have like 10-foot wires for a maybe 1 foot space.
But it is what came with the setup. So
you can buy wires that are shorter. We have, but I know of like we have like 10 6-inch wires because we don't need long wires.
Size doesn't matter.
Is that what your wife tells you?
Oh shoot. No. I like to see. I would have said these were more like a foot long wire. Just eyeballing it.
They're typically 3 feet.
Okay.
That's basic size.
This is probably a 6-foot job. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really know. Like, I feel like 6 foot's kind of a pointless length for this type of wire. Like, you either need like a foot or 2 feet, or you need like 100 feet.
Yeah, that's usually about right.
So I'm pretty sure that they're tossing in like the leftover wire that they're like, yeah, we don't know.
Probably.
Well, cool. And I promise I won't wad it up into a big ball. I know that stresses people out.
Yes, because it ruins the wires. It does.
I regularly just like whenever I use the mics and stuff here, I'll regularly just like pretend to wad it up and hand it to Kyle, our like me. I don't know what he's worship guy, but he also does like media. I don't know how to.
Oh, Ben.
Yeah. But like when Kyle is back there, I do it as a joke to like hand him this like rat's nest of wires and be like, here you go. This is how I've interacted with what you gave me. And he always just rolls his eyes.
Yep.
So, with running sound, have you ever been running sound and had to go to the bathroom, but you couldn't because
multiple times.
So what do you like? Do you just hold it, or do you just?
Depends on the situation. if we're doing worship and we're a couple songs in, I'll run over real quick. But if we're on like the last song, then I gotta just wait because then the pastor comes up and you gotta mute stuff and unmute stuff.
Got to do all the transitions.
Yeah, but if it's like in the middle of a section where like you don't got to mess with nothing, I'll just run down real quick.
Let it run on autopilot.
Yep.
That's funny.
When you're doing media, it's a whole different story because you can't just leave.
You gotta, we gotta get you all like some sort of like a squatty potty or something back there just in case. Nope.
You forget sometimes I'm back there with your wife doing it. I doubt she really wants to look over and be like, oh, hey, he's just taking a dump.
Well, we could get like a divider too, I don't know.
There's not enough room back there.
That's true.
There's barely enough room for two people.
But it's already built up, like, so that underspace, it could drop down into there, into like a collection tank. I'm gonna run this by the people who have say in things. They're gonna say no. They always say no. That's essentially how my life works. I have bad ideas that usually are filtered out by people, but when they're not, people get to hear them. So since I've known you, I took down a few notes because I wanted to make sure that we use the time well, so that way you don't have to clock in remotely. Since I've known you, you have been like a guy that likes to like pull a good gag.
Yes.
Especially like when you were in youth group, the pool table didn't survive. There's chairs that just didn't survive, and it's part of the casualties. But have you ever pulled like a bathroom gag on anyone? Just in general.
So growing up, we read the Captain Underpants books, and in the books there was one section where they mentioned if you take like a little ketchup packet and like fold it over. And you can put it under the toilet seat lid. Yeah. And me and Titus put like quite a few of them under the toilet seat lid one time. And then our sister Hosanna went in and sat down.
Perfect.
We got in a lot of trouble.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because it went everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
It was, yeah.
Oh, man. I was really hoping that you were going to say that you did that to Titus.
No.
I'm glad that he played a part. I just like the thought of Titus getting hit with ketchup. It's a good thought.
Well, now you know when you record with him, have him sit on the toilet.
Man, yeah, it's coming. I think he's like posted up waiting for it.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't know I'm sure he has stories, but he never like says, hey, I got stuff. So I have a few questions that I always ask everyone on the show when they're here. And the first is, what type of toilet paper are y'all using at where you're living, or would you like to be using if you're not using what you'd like?
Whatever gets purchased. I don't shop whatsoever. When I do shop, I spend more than I should have on stuff that I did not intend to get.
Perfect. Yes.
So it's always just whatever's there.
So do you have like any preference at all?
Nope.
Sheet? Okay.
I've used anywhere from 1-ply to I don't know what ply.
You're gonna hole punch yourself with 1-ply.
You just gotta fold it a lot.
Yeah.
I gotta keep layering it.
I don't know if my whole situation is just too aggressive or too wet. But there's the 1-ply just can't get it done. Okay, so whatever's available, it keeps it simple. Have you ever had to use non-toilet paper material as toilet paper? And if so,
yes, I've used leaves before.
Leaves, yep.
I learned you have to kind of layer those too, or you will hole punch yourself. They were thick, but they were not sturdy.
They were not meant for this.
No, they were not. I found that fairly quickly.
That's so good. Okay, well, leaves is an acceptable thing. Like that's not super wild. Like, yeah, copier paper is. That one, I've heard people be like, yeah.
I feel like at one point I have used paper, but I can't recall that.
It's you probably blocked it out of your mind
probably.
Because the experience is so awful, I feel like.
I mean, it's just paper, though. Like, as long as you don't get a corner,
it doesn't give in any way, though. It's, like, so rigid that it's like... I was getting ready to make, like, a butt-swooping motion with my finger and then realized that wouldn't be appropriate for right now. So I stopped. I spared everyone. But I just feel like it's going to create a tube that slides down the crack. And then it's just going to like, I don't know.
Just scrape it out.
Yeah. Yeah, you just like make no scraping involved. Scraping is bad. Okay, so with the toilet paper, are you a folder or are you a crumpler?
I'm a folder.
Folder. Very good.
You got to fold it.
I already feel more safe sitting in the bathroom with you, knowing that you're not a crumpler.
I will admit, I've tried crumpling. It doesn't work. You can't. You just can't.
And there's people that are like, this is me every single time.
No.
I crumple it, and I'm like, how do you organize what happens if it begins to come uncrumpled?
You can't.
You
just can't.
It's impossible. Perfect. So bar soap or liquid soap? What do you mess with? Bar soap or liquid soap?
I prefer liquid soap.
Liquid soap. Very good. Now, ever since I spoke with my lovely wife, I was brought to the realization that people regularly share bar soap.
Yes.
Like in the shower.
Yes.
So what do you think about that? Because I'm stuck still.
So growing up, we never had bar soap, but when we stayed at our grandparents' house, like when we were like really young, then when we took showers and stuff, they only had bar soap other than shampoo. So we'd have to share bar soap. But what they told us to do was to put the bar soap in a rag and then pretty much use the rag to wipe yourself, and the soap just gets into the rag. So the soap didn't really touch you, but the real question is like, did everybody use the rag or did only some people?
That's what you can't trust.
But it's soap though.
Yeah. And that's
it's made to be clean.
It cleans itself by its own existence.
Yes.
I think my barrier is, I think at one point, because my dad used bar soap. He always used that like old
Irish Spring.
I was going to say Old Spice, but yeah, the green bars.
That's what my grandpa has.
Yeah. That's like a classic, like, dude above the age of 30 or 40 bar soap. But I think one time I found like, it gets that like weird white film. Mm-hmm. And that's the barrier for me. I can't get past it. I know it's just like soap that has dried, but my brain doesn't let me believe that. And it tells me that it's all sorts of other possibilities that I don't want involved with my armpits.
My question was, since you had so many siblings, when we did showering at our grandparents' house, sometimes like we would fidget with the soap and we'd like take our fingernails and like scrape at it. Yeah.
Oh no.
And we'd like make like little like words or something, and we'd like leave messages for each other. It was kind of great. So my question is, did they ever do that, or did they just leave it as a bar of soap?
I will have to follow up with her because there's so much potential for what you just said. Like I'm seeing these like guys and kids in prison. Like this is a whole new world of like how are they passing these messages? They're like in the shower, just like with their finger, just trying to like carve like SOS messages to their friends.
Yep.
Wow. Weird. Do you know if your siblings ever got the messages?
Like, I have no clue.
Oh. Did you ever receive one?
Not that I can think of.
Oh, so you're just like carving messages into the soap. We'll see.
Well, typically I was the last one to take a shower, and then every morning my grandpa takes a shower, and it's like 2 hours long. I don't know what he does in there, but it's forever. And he probably is the first one that gets it and doesn't even like pay attention to it.
He's exfoliating.
He's like, oh, it's more rigid. It's got grooves.
Yeah, the bar of soap has a lot of like scratch factor. It's like pumice, but just soap. Wow. I imagine it like builds up a lot more soap suds on the soap with those. I don't know. Yeah. You've unlocked something new there. Because so the liquid soap I'm using right now, I gotta tell you about this. It has like, it was purchased from, it's Bath and Body Works. It's not important. It's Bath and Body Works, but like, it's got these little like dots in it that are supposed to be rougher.
Oh yeah.
And it says body wash, but like those little rough beads don't belong everywhere. Because if you don't rinse them off properly, they get like stuck like in your armpit hair or like in other places. that is crack related, and it just kind of like over the course of the day is like a piece of sand that just like rubs. It's like, hey, y'all gotta, I don't know, Bath and Body Works, y'all gotta change that. Because it smells really nice.
It's like using that like working man's hand creamer stuff, but like to wash yourself.
Yes. And then like if you don't rinse it off really well,
you're just grinding all day.
Yeah, it's just grinding it hard. Like, yeah. And then you're like fidgeting about it and you can't get your undies to sit right with it and it's just not right. Yes. So how are you on baths?
I've tried taking a bath once. When we were young, we used to take baths all the time. But when I was older, I tried taking a bath once. I hated it. I immediately was like, this is just like, it's too hot in here. There's not enough room to do anything. Like, I even set up a little TV to watch TV, and like, I made it 5 minutes into my show, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna move back to my room and watch TV.
Yeah,
it's dumb.
Yeah,
it's like if I want to do this, I go into a hot tub. It's the same thing,
right? And the water's moving in the hot tub.
Yeah,
that's my biggest thing.
They got jets, and it's so much better.
Yeah. So your thing with baths is purely like the amount of room that you have to spread out, and
it's just not comfortable because you're just straight. You're just sitting there straight, and it's like I can't relax.
Yeah. Well, and you're a taller guy. Like, I don't know. They probably make like a big and tall bathtub.
We never had one.
Right.
So to show you how tall I am, when I had like my feet flat against the faucet side of the tub, and I pushed and my legs were straight, my back would be sitting up.
See, that's not.
It sucks.
Yeah.
So I literally have to like sit with my legs up and my knees are like out of the water for me to like even get like close to neck level. And I'm like, this ain't right.
And I believe that is the birthing position. Like knees up, laid back. I think the medical term for that is the birthing position. I'm not a doctor, but I think that's it. So you're a thumbs down on baths, but it's not. And maybe it is. Is it have anything to do with like you sitting in your own bath water? Because that's
well,
it is.
When I did it, I took a shower beforehand, so that part didn't really matter to me. Because I was like, well, I'm already like wet. I might as well try it because it's been a while. I didn't like it.
I'm already wet.
Well, it's different if you're like dry and you're like, I don't want to like go and sit in a bath just to waste time.
I'm gonna trouble myself with just like only getting wet to soak.
Yes.
And this is one that I wish I had known about before I had interviewed all the people that I've talked to. But I had a buddy who told me that like one of the methods that he uses is he'll run the shower and then like he'll wash and then he'll do the thing. And then when he's on the like down slope of the shower, like he's rinsed everything off, he'll actually just plug the toilet. And now like it's rinsing down and also filling the bath. And I have a lot of barriers to that.
But then sometimes there's times like I've had a shower where like it doesn't drain properly, so like it'll kind of back up a little bit. It just doesn't. It's just weird walking around and just like water while you're taking a shower. It's just not right.
Yes.
It's like if I want to do that, I go to the beach and wait for it to rain. Right. And just walk around in the water.
Just stand in the ocean and look up. Perfect. So do you have any bathroom pet peeves? Like things that just...
So when people leave towels on the ground. So my wife... she uses 2 towels when she takes showers.
Yes.
One for the ground and one to dry herself off.
What does for the ground mean?
to lay on the ground.
Like to stand on?
Yes.
Okay.
Because when she dries herself off, she gets water all over the ground. So she's learned to just put a towel on the ground. And I'm like, I've told her, just dry herself off in the shower, then lay it on the ground.
Yes.
If you're that worried about it.
Yes.
And she still uses 2 towels. She'll deny it a lot. Because we used to live at our mother-in-law's, so we had 3 girls that did that.
Yeah.
One of them didn't. The other 2 did, and neither of them would like accept it. And it's like it's one of you 2. It's like
we're gonna do trial by jury to sort out who's doing this. Like who's Okay, so 2 towels. So leaving towels on the ground
and hair in the drain. That irritates me every time.
Yes.
And once again, no one will fess up to it.
Yeah. So I have the luxury of like, well, I do have a daughter now, but I didn't before. And so any hair crime committed in the bathroom is very clear to me that Anna had committed the hair crime. Except for like the sink beard trimmings, that definitely me. The key is to just never trim.
See, when we found hair in like the tub,
yeah,
we wouldn't throw it away because there was like enough girls in there. You just got a glare from Hunter.
So, what did you do with it?
So it would still be really wet. So we'd pick it up and we'd just throw it up the wall of the tub. Oh. And that would mark and show that somebody didn't take care of their hair. But I had to take a shower, so I didn't want to deal with you right now.
Stare at your shameful hair pile.
But a lot of times, until somebody actually got around to clean the bathroom, the wall would have a bunch of just hairballs on the wall. There was like at one point like 10 or 12. There was a lot of hair. Gosh. But nobody would like want it, even though the trash can is literally like right next to the toilet, which is right next to the bathtub. So it's like, it's right there. But nobody wanted to go that far.
Well, and I get why you wouldn't, because you're not doing it. But I have to believe that all of the folks involved with this hair,
it just became a habit at that point.
Well, and it's just like, if I do it, I'm conceding defeat. I'm admitting that I did this thing, and I just can't touch it. What? That's, yeah. So Anna does the like swirl it and leave it on the wall, and then there was a few times where it did not get removed, and I was like, hey, this has got to get removed. I can't imagine opening the shower and just seeing like just hair clumps attached to the shower wall. Wow. I'm sorry for you. But yeah, hair clogs are the worst. Yeah. Especially if you don't have the right tools to remove them from the drain. Like at one point I have two like number 2 pencils just like trying to tweeze hair out of a drain.
For us, then it typically was like they're big enough clumps they wouldn't like you'd be able to just pick. Yeah, you'd be able to just pick it up. Oh. Like we wouldn't need a tool. Like they wouldn't clog because the hairs were like so long that they become such clumps. You'd be able to just pick it up. Like we didn't have any special tool to get the hair out of the drain. It just never went in the drain.
Oh, so like you could step in it.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, I don't like that. That concerns me. Yeah, when you step in the shower, you don't want to step in anything. No. Like especially sand. Like when you go to the beach and you put the stuff in, you run that first shower after that. It's just wet sand on your feet. It's the worst.
And then you just can't take a shower till you rinse it out. It's just like
but you never get it all. Like
nope. It just keeps coming.
The only way to actually get it all is just to keep using the shower and keep it running until eventually the shower just gives up the fight. And it's like, yeah, the sand is gone now. You can sleep tonight.
And then you find more sand.
It's everywhere. Wow. So, any other bathroom pet peeves? Just the two?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, wow. Hey, good for you. Especially since you shared a bathroom with Titus for so many years. Like,
ooh.
Yeah. Oh.
Growing up, it was all 4 of us sharing a bathroom.
No.
Yeah, so it was my 2 sisters and Titus and me sharing one bathroom. And then when we went to the house over in Sweet Home, then we had Titus had his bathroom, the girls had their bathroom, and then Dad had his bathroom.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've used Titus's bathroom there. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Yeah. I'll harass him another time. So, using the bathroom, what like food establishment, fast food or otherwise, messes you up the absolute worst? Like, does you the dirtiest?
Recently, it's been Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Yep.
That's really all I've eaten in the past month. And it was twice. Oh. I typically don't eat out that much.
Right. That's fair.
So it's typically just Taco Bell. Other than that, I either don't eat or it's whatever dinner is.
Just I don't eat or whatever's available.
Yes.
Yeah, Taco Bell, you know, I've pinpointed what it is at Taco Bell. Like for me, it's the beans. If I do the beans, done. Or if I get like that cheese sauce.
That cheese sauce is killer.
But you got to do it. Like you're not, if it's on there, you're not going to not get it. Unless you're like a dairy-free person. Whatever.
Hosanna.
Is Hosanna doing that?
Not dairy-free, but she can't have too much dairy.
Oh, really? I know your cousin can't either.
Oh, yeah. It messes him up.
Because he'll be at youth group and we'll have like, I don't know if he'll get in trouble. Yeah.
No, you'll be fine.
Okay. But we'll have like ice cream and stuff, and he'll make a point of being like, hey, like I'm really not supposed to have ice cream and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But then he's like, well, no, but I'll take a bowl of it. But I just like, I think it's more of a courtesy, like, hey, I'm letting you know that I might have to run to the bathroom. And
that 100% is what it is.
Yeah. That kid's hilarious. Wow. So back to the showers. I want to jump back over there. Have you ever taken a dark shower?
I have not.
Okay. It'll change your life. We were talking at Young Adults a few weeks ago that it's like those sensory deprivation chambers. And we have like a nightlight in our bathroom, which gives just enough light to like be able to navigate your stuff. But man, the dark shower is the way to go. Have you ever eaten or drank anything while in the shower? Now you sent me a link that the good people at Good Mythical Morning were like testing out this weird stuff that people do in the shower. Have you ever eaten or drinking anything in the shower?
Yes, but no. So I wouldn't bring a beverage in, but sometimes when I got thirsty, I'd take the shower head off and I'd point at the ground, flip it over to cold, and I'd just like switch it over to the stream and I'd just take a quick drink.
No way.
Yeah. And then I'd switch it back to hot, and then when I got warm, I'd switch it back over and then put it back up.
It's not a drinking fountain.
It's about the same thing as hose water.
Oh, I know, but the idea that like, isn't it too much work to take the shower head completely off?
No, like, so we had the ones that had the hose that had the attachable hose thing. So you'd be able to take the handle off. Yeah. And then it had like the stream thing, so just be like a
and you stream. Switch it to like...
Yeah, switch it over to that.
Okay.
No, I didn't take a wrench into the shower with me and take the whole shower head off.
I'm like, are you like unscrewing the actual shower head? I was like, and then like reverse drinking fountain, like with your mouth like underneath a soda.
No, that's just too much work.
Right. Okay. That makes more sense. That's not a bad idea. I don't have one of those removable thingies, so it's kind of like there's no way to not freeze myself.
That's the only way I've ever used them. I've never taken them off to like clean myself any other way. It's the only time I've ever taken them off.
Huh. So that exists for drinking for you.
Yes.
Okay. There it is.
Sometimes you get thirsty.
Yeah. Wow. Well, your buddy Jason, he is like, get yourself a cold soda in the shower. He swears by it. It's pretty good. Have you ever performed a waffle stomp?
I have not.
Oh man. Okay. So this is the shower drains that we have here at the church are like the perfect drain for a shower or for a waffle stomp because it's got like the grooves. It's flat.
It's got the waffle grooves.
Yeah, like. You know, in most showers, they don't like. I can't stomp on the drain in my shower because it's like lifted up with the little like pluggy thing. Yeah. So I'm like, if I did it,
it would get everywhere.
If I did it,
you can take those off though.
I know
it's not that hard.
But again, back to the if I would have to just like pre-stomp it back where it's like not, and then just like kind of scoot it towards the drain.
You'd have to like grind it up so it's like mixes with the water so it just flow down.
It's like those people that like stomp on grapes to make wine, but like
it's Hunter stomping in a shower to make diarrhea.
My poop go away. Have you ever like, okay, so the other thing that people do, and I think this is actually worse, but they, instead of just getting out of the shower and going to the bathroom, they will like reach back and do the deed into their hand and just like toss it into the toilet.
No.
Okay. That seems senseless. And
the most I've done is middle of the shower, soaking wet, jumped on the toilet. That's the only way to do it.
And yeah, I had kind of that experience this morning, like got out of the shower and I was done, which is better. But then you go to the bathroom and it's like, I might as well just get back in the shower. Cause like, we've sullied this whole mess. We've ruined everything. Very good. So you've shared with me that you've had a couple of close calls bathroom wise during commutes. Do you want to talk about those at all?
There's one main one that I wanted to mention.
Good.
It's pretty messy. So, a couple months ago, I think it was like January, February. I think it was February. We got back from swimming over at the Y, and my stomach wasn't feeling too hot. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm just hungry because I hadn't eaten anything all day. My mother-in-law brought back some Crunchwraps. Ate one of those.
Taco Bell.
Yep, some Taco Bell. And my stomach was kind of feeling better, but it still hurt.
Oh.
And then later that night, I went to bed, woke up at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I was like, I gotta go. I gotta go. So I just book it out, throw my robe on. I make it, so I'm living in the shop area, which is right next to the house. So I have to go outside, across to the house, and then across the house to get to the bathroom. So I go outside and I get close to the house and I know I'm not making it. Like it's starting to come out and it's liquid, so you can't just hold it. So I'm just standing in the grass and it's kind of just like coming out. And then as it's coming out, I start having to also throw up.
No.
So at one point I throw up, which then makes it come out of my butt end more. And then I remember at one point I kind of am just like on all fours coming out of both ends. And I'm just miserable. It just sucked. So, but I was able to get my robe off, so I didn't get anything on my robe, which was great. But I'm just on all fours in the grass in my underwear, coming out of both ends, and I'm like, why? And luckily, my wife was confused why I booked her out of the room so fast, and she came out and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No."
Do I look okay?
It's like, no, I need help. So. She runs in and grabs me a towel, so I kind of just like put like a DIY baby diaper on with a towel, run into the bathroom, and I kind of am just sitting on the bathroom. Mind you, my whole butt is covered in crap dripping down my legs. So I'm sitting on the toilet and it's just like all over, and I'm like, this is gonna take forever. And I was like sick enough for like when I stood up, I started getting nauseous.
Oh no.
So I had to do it in like little steps. So I like had to grab a bunch of toilet paper, stand up for a minute, wipe off a bunch and then sit back down. But a lot of times it would kind of just defeat the purpose because there would be so much on the toilet seat already. By the time I sat back down, it just reversed it all. Oh my gosh. So I was spent, I think, 2 hours in the bathroom just doing like little bursts of standing. And then eventually I got to the point where I was somewhat cleaned, and then I had my wife bring me some clothes, and I just spent that night in the house. I was like, I'm not.
Wow.
I'm not. And then I took the other clothes I had was wearing that just got destroyed, and I just threw them away. Yeah. It's like, there's no going back.
Yeah. There's no sense in trying to wash this. Like, it's just going to be a memory at that point.
Nope. It's done. And then all night, every time I had to, like, cause like I was drinking a lot of water, but every time I got up, I just was nauseous. So I'd have to get up, go over to the dining room, sit down for a minute, get up, fill up my cup, sit back down in the dining room, get up, go back to the chair and fall back to sleep. It was about a 20-minute process just to get a cup of water.
Oh man.
And if I was up too long, I'd get nauseous and I had to book it to the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
It was miserable.
Was it the flu, or do you think it was the Crunchwrap?
I think it was the flu, because I feel like the Crunchwrap didn't have anything to do with it. Because
the Crunchwrap, like, it'll liquefy things, but it shouldn't, like...
No, because I've had Crunchwraps before and they weren't that bad.
Oh like, man,
fairly recently I've had a Crunchwrap, and it like 2 days ago, and it wasn't that bad.
Okay,
it was tolerable. Definitely the flu, because it lasted a couple days, and I was like, nope.
Wow, that is awful. But also might be the worst, like... I've messed myself story I've heard in some time.
Yes,
like
it was literally my whole lower half was practically covered.
Your wife was probably like, what is going on? Like, why?
I was like, good thing you married me, because you ain't going back now. You're stuck with this.
Yeah. You should have messed with her and be like, yeah, I have this every other month sometimes. It's weird. What? Like, no. Man, I don't even know what it, like, I'm trying to think of like what I mean, like, I guess Anna's response. I'm laying in the front lawn just dookied out.
Yep.
That's wild. Wow.
Yeah.
The process too to get clean. I do have so there is a bacteria. I heard you went to the pool at the Y. It's called Cryptosporidium. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. Maybe it was that. Who knows? You get it from public pools, and it will give you diarrhea. It's time to sue the Y for emotional damages.
I was the only one that got it, though, out of the whole family.
Oh, that's true. That's fair.
And all the other old people that were in the pool, the other half.
Oh, yeah. But some of those old people are probably already rolling around with diapers anyway. So, like, never mind. That's mean.
It's true.
And then the other thing on that is like, and I just want to understand. So you're doing this standing up motion to get clean on this. Is that a special activity for this specific instance? Or are you one of these people that like, oh, I just entered the Matrix over here. Oh, I think an Autobot's trying to overtake something.
Is it Decepticons, not the Autobots? Transformers. Also, they're making another one that's completely unrelated to the rest of them.
Whoa.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
All right, let's try that.
Are we working now?
Yep, you're good. You don't sound like... It essentially sounded like somebody was just running your voice through static.
Nice.
But it's clear as a whistle now. But yeah, so this stand-up situation, was that a specific thing?
Yes. Well, because there was crap between my butt and the toilet seat, so I had to stand up to like clean off, clean up.
Because you and I both know someone, and I'm not going to out him here, who is on record with me saying every time I wipe, I stand all the way up, I wipe, I throw it in the thing, and I sit back down. And that's nonsense.
There have been times where like I wouldn't fully stand up, but I'd kind of like lean forward so my butt's off the toilet, but I wouldn't like fully stand up, stretch, like take a break, and then go back at it.
Yeah, that's wild to me. Okay, so that makes more sense. Well, cool. That was the time you had it's in my phone as the time you did the thing on the front lawn. So, anything that you want to leave folks with? I know, like any movies or anything you're looking forward to, or
a lot of them, but also not very many because so Disney has been remaking all of their old movies live, and they're ruining most of them. The only one that is decent is the Aladdin movie, and even that one wasn't that great. And
it's only decent, I think, because Will Smith is doing his thing.
Yes. He somewhat ruined the genie, but
right,
he made it his own genie.
Yes. I think that's the only way that you could swing that is to do it your own thing.
Yes.
Well, cool. Thank you for being here. And thank you all for listening. You get to see the shameful part that time to annoy people. This is the part that I skip when I listen to the
part where you advertise all the people that helped you with the podcast.
Yeah. Follow the show, Privycast. We're out there. If you get on that TikTok, you're going to find that some of those offerings reveal a little more than the ones that you find elsewhere. That's all I'm going to say about it. You can send us an email, privycast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. You can send pictures if you want, but I'm not officially soliciting that because I am a little scared. Also, it doesn't stop random. Well, not random. I know them. But people from just sending me pictures of their turds. And it's like, with no context. It's just like, okay. Do you want me to put this on the internet? Or like, yeah. We'd like to thank, as always, Kevin MacLeod for the use of Barroom Ballet as our intro and outro music. You can find Kevin's music at incompetech.com, and his music is licensed under Creative Commons License Attribution 4.0. Thanks, Kevin. This has been another episode of Privy. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for being here.
No problem.
In the bathroom with me. And now, as always, and I'm gonna travel the mic for this one. Oh,
if your cord's long enough.
Oh, the headphones were still in my ear. I almost ripped my earlobe out. And now, I might have to flush the urinal on it. Oh. As always, we're moving. Oh yeah, that 6-foot cord came in handy. Don't forget to flush. That was the longest flush I've ever dealt with in my life. I need to talk to Michael about the pressure on that bad boy. That was something else. I can't wait to hear what that sounds like later on.
Yep.
Bye.